Over the last few decades, music has transformed at lightning speed. From vinyl to streaming, from garage bands to bedroom producers, technology has reshaped every note we hear. But with that evolution comes with the question, are we losing something? As trends recycle and algorithms generate melodies, some fear the art of itself is fading. Creativity drowned out by convenience and expression replaced by automation. The future of music isn't set in tone. It's up to us, listeners and creators, to keep the humane heartbeat alive in the sound. Now we shall delve into this interview segment.
Today we're going to be talking about the topic of the art of music and why it's dying. So, first question, has the rise of algorithm-driven music platforms reduced musical creativity by rewarding formulas over innovation?
I wouldn't say it has, no. I feel as though, okay, it's a unique situation because although formulas are promoted, it's because of how algorithms work, regardless of what you put out, you will ultimately find the audience that is looking for that. So it's less so like we're looking for formulated music and more so the algorithm itself and the way in which music is distributed is more formulaic, if that makes sense. So I feel like no, it hasn't hindered musical creativity.
Are modern production tools making music more homogeneous, causing artists to rely on trends instead of developing unique sounds?
I wouldn't say so, no. I would say if anything, the production tools that we have now allows for a far greater bandwidth of creative sounds, and I feel like we've been doing a good job of actually using those productive tools in a creative way. I feel like the more mainstream artists, of course, have been falling into like a certain category of sound, but overall speaking in terms of like music and indie artists, I feel like there's been a lot of ingenuity and creativity there.
Okay. Is the focus on variety and short film content like TikTok snippets discouraging the creation of full, meaningful compositions?
I wouldn't say so, no. I would say that the short form content is more so just marketing for the full works. Like, if anything, based on what I've seen, it would be like a snippet of a song released, and that snippet would then garner attention and support to release the full song. So ultimately, regardless of how it seems to play out, the end goal is still to release a full, complete work.
Okay. Has commercialization shifted the purpose of music from artistic expressions to profit, weakening the emotional depth of new releases?
No, I feel like there's really nothing that can shift the purpose of music because at the end of the day, just like any other art, the goal of it is art. So no matter what, even it's if it seems overwhelmingly commercialized, the end goal and the end result and what will ultimately prevail is the art in and of itself. No matter what, music is an expression of the self and it will continue to be that way because that's just what it is. There's no like amount of, I guess, societal pressures that'll ever change that.
Okay. Do you think listeners are becoming less patient with complex or experimental music, pushing artists to simplify their art to stay relevant?
No, I don't think anybody who enjoys art will ever become less patient with something new or a different creative avenue of the art that they love. Because at the end of the day, it's still art. Like, people will always be interested in the new thing or a new expression of an old thing or, you know, it's, yeah, I feel like there's no real way to lessen people's love for genuine art.
Not even with like AI like on the come up and
Okay, but then that's where we get to the debate of, is AI art still officially art? Is it still is it actually recognized as a creative medium? Because, in my personal belief at least, art is self-expression. And then that feeds into another debate: is can an AI be considered a self? Is it consciousness? Is it not? It's a big rabbit hole. I can't really properly answer that.
As the industry emphasized on fast content and constant input, diminish the time and space artists need to craft true, meaningful, enduring music.
If an artist was like solely dependent on short form content, sure. But if I feel like for the most part, no. Any pressure that was there was pressure that we already had in the industry to begin with. Like, there's no new pressure there. I feel like it may be a new perceived pressure because now there's a bigger spotlight on pushing out more content quicker. But I feel as though there's nothing actually new about that in the music industry.
In the end, music only survives if we do, by daring to create, to feel, and to stay human. The next verse is in Ours to Write. I'm Janiyah Mickens, and thank you for listening to my interview.